Turning now to the El Chapo trial, the prosecution announced that it will rest its case next week, bringing over 2 months of testimony to an end. Alex Cifuentes will continue testifying today.
Meanwhile, El Chapo's right-hand man and secretary for the Sinaloa cartel, that man is, what's his name here? Well, let's put it this way. The prosecution is set to have at least one more witness take the stand this week. His defense team, though, may be facing some challenges of their own. Jeffrey Lichtman, one of El Chapo's lead lawyers, may be barred from seeing the drug lord. Text messages between Lichtman and his mistress suggested he was planning a, quote, he was planning on hiring a belly dancer.
You read it right.
Okay, yeah. I was like, to visit El Chapo daily. A belly dancer.
I don't even know.
Wonder what else she does. Okay, El Chapo has only been allowed to see his legal team and his children so far.
CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman joins us now. Rikki, there's always something. There's always something. So a lot happened while court was in session. Let's start with the defense. What about, there's text messages that we need to know about?
Well, we're dealing with the text messages, first of all, in the case.
Okay.
Then we're dealing with the text messages
of Attorney
Jeffrey Lichtman.
And those are the text messages that got him in trouble.
Right. What happened was there's a woman who's a restaurateur. She is known as the vegan Bernie Madoff. And she was a client of Jeffrey Lichtman's, and when she was a client, she was accused of embezzling an extraordinary sum of money from her own employees.
Right.
So it really makes her look like the vegan Bernie Madoff. She had 2 fabulous restaurants and dealing with Pure Food, which was one of the names of the restaurants in New York. And here she is.
But not Pure Intentions.
No, not, well, apparently he got her quite a sweetheart deal. And in the meantime, they became very intimately involved. And these text messages, when will people ever learn? These text messages wind up discovered somehow, and they have her texts. And what we find out is perhaps in a joke. I mean, I have no idea.
Right.
I've got to assume it was a joke. He says he feels sorry for El Chapo, who he's also representing, and El Chapo is in solitary and he has no visitors. And so he says that he's bringing, as Vlad correctly pointed out, a belly dancer. So the question is it a joke, or did he come in with paralegals or people who said they were paralegals, or with another person who said she was a female lawyer? We don't know the truth of this.
Right.
But in any event, the headlines over the weekend, which continued into today, were that Jeffrey Lichtman, as a result, may be barred from visiting his own client in prison. And
would that be grounds to throw the trial?
Look, he has 2 other lawyers who are really substantial in court, so you can't just end it that way. And really, the truth is this: he probably deserves a little slap on the wrist for very, very bad behavior. But in terms of keeping him from his client completely, at the time that you're talking about the client's defense and finally closing argument, I think that that's a step too far.
Right. So you talk about closing arguments. The prosecution says that they're going to rest. What do you think of the witnesses they've called so far? Do you think they have a strong?
I do think they have a strong case. And I think that despite the fact that these witnesses are every bit as bad as El Chapo, and some may say even worse.
Yeah.
I mean, you have people who have committed not dozens of murders, hundreds.
Yeah,
well, no, that's not fair. 150 murders.
But, yeah.
And what you have, look what you're dealing with. You're dealing with narco world. So narco world only functions on the basis of smugglers, transporters, and soldiers. And what you have are people who live by the sword, as they say. And these are dangerous people. That's why they were in the business, and that they had to continue to be dangerous. So do we not believe them because they're just terrible people and because they, by the way, have lied in the past? Well, who else are you going to go to? Mm-hmm. But you see, they all get shored up by that wonderful witness, Christopher Rodriguez, who is the IT guy. You have an IT guy in his 20s, winds up working for El Chapo, and ultimately, by virtue of the good work of the FBI, winds up in a sting operation. He's caught, and he, because of El Chapo's obsession with wanting to know what was going on with everyone, he had to snoop on everyone's conversations, he winds up infiltrating the network that he had set up. So you have the truth will set you free. In this case, the truth is putting this guy behind bars. That I cannot imagine, even if he's not convicted of the top count, even if he's not numero uno racketeer of the Sinaloa drug cartel, he certainly is up there enough to be convicted of everything else, in which case he is never getting out of prison.
We will see what happens. All eyes on that courtroom. Rikki Klieman, always great to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.